G'day everyone, welcome back to Bizy Ranch. In this video I'm going to show you how to drill your glass aquarium so that you get a nice clean cut without cracking the tank. So the first thing I'm going to mention before we even talk about the bits and pieces that we're going to use in actually drilling the tank itself, your glass aquariums and any aquarium that's pre-built should already be this way, but you can't drill tempered glass. So things like shower screens and other coffee table glasses like that, they are tempered glass, and if you try and drill them they will completely shatter, so please don't try and drill glass like that. These tanks are actually made brand new for me, and I know that they're proper glass, same as like window glass, so it's safe to drill. Now on the desk in front of me here I've got all the bits and pieces that you're going to need to drill your tanks yourself, and I'll go through them and talk about what I'm using for each part. So here I just got a 125 litre soft drink bottle, and the thing I've done with this, I've got it full of water at the moment, and you can see there's no water coming out. But what I have done is got a very small drill bit, and I've drilled a hole relatively low to the bottle here. So what that's going to allow is, if I squeeze that, I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually water trickling out of that. So I'm going to use that to keep the bit wet as I'm drilling the glass, because that's an important part as well. If you don't keep your drill bit wet with water or some sort of lubrication, you're going to heat the bit up and all the diamond bits on the drill bit are going to get blunt and cause issues while drilling the tank. Obviously the second piece we're going to need is a drill. Any normal drill will work. The important thing about this though is that it has this low speed. So if you look on the top of this drill here, it does have 1 and 2 listed there. 1 being fast, 2 being the fast speed, and 1 being the slower speed. So we're going to be using the slower speed. Now the third piece I've got here is the actual diamond hole saw drill bit. I have Sutton's tool kit here. Has the different sizes in there, but you only really need the one size that you want to drill your tanks with. I'm just going to mention inside the drill kit here, it does have the piece that goes into the drill, and then your actual socket that goes onto the drill bit of the size that you're wanting to drill there. They do come with a center, drill bit that goes in the middle of it, but I would not recommend going through this. It just takes so long for it to cut through the glass, and I'm going to show you the jig that I use instead to create a faster cut through the glass. So if it does have it, if you wish to use it, go ahead, but otherwise I would recommend making a jig while doing the cuts in the glass. So I'll just move that to the side. So in saying that, the other piece that I do have is an actual jig. This is just some MDF board, 12mm thick, it doesn't particularly matter that much. And I have made a whole drill bit here, and it's the same template I'm using on all my tanks. So I'm actually drilling dozens of tanks at the moment that's going into the fish room, and I'm going to use this template so that all the bulkhead holes are going in the same position. When you do drill this hole though, don't use a diamond drill bit on it, because you're going to blunt and ruin the hole saw part. Use a regular timber hole saw, or like a spade bit or something like that, that's meant for timber. I've also got a towel here. So the towel I'm purely going to be using when I sit this tank up, I'm going to sit the towel underneath where the glass is going to fall out. Some people use tape and tape the underside of where they're cutting to stop the glass falling down, but I use a towel instead. So I'm just going to lay it down. When the piece is finally cut, it's going to drop down and land on the soft towel. So, I mean, anything that you can use to just stop that glass hitting on the bottom of the tank, potentially cracking the glass. And lastly, obviously, the fish tank. So I've got everything that I need right here. I'm going to move this tank down onto the ground into a better position where I can drill it, and I'll show you the process from there. So I've got everything I need right here set up now. I've just put it on some foam squares to keep it safe from on the concrete. And first thing I'm going to do is put my towel down underneath where the glass piece is going to fall out. I've now got my jig here, so I'm going to put it on the glass there. I've got my drill bit in my drill, and I'm going to squirt some water into the actual hole. Find out first where it's pointing. There we go. And I'm just going to put some pressure down, not too much on there, and just start the actual hole using the jig. little bit more water. So now I'm going to take the jig off and have a look. And you can see that it's actually dug into the glass there. And now I should be able to take the jig away and actually just drill from where it is now. This part is now a patience game. I'm just going to keep it lubricated with a little bit of water from here, not too much, and you'll see a white residue build up. The white residue is the glass itself ground into a very fine powder. So the difference with drilling with a diamond bit compared to your other conventional drill bits is it's not actually trying to cut into it, it's just grinding away at the actual glass itself. So I'm also going to time how long it takes me to drill this hole and non-stop, and I'll let you know how long that takes as well. The glass itself is probably about 8 mil thick, so get that ready and we'll see how long it takes. I'll just pause the timer. One thing I'll add on this as well, the amount of pressure that you want to put on the glass itself is not much more than the actual weight of the drill itself. You're kind of just letting the drill hold its own weight on the glass itself with minimal pressure, and let the grind action just cut in itself using essentially gravity. So you'll see that there's white residue building up quite a lot there. All you have to do is make sure that you're maintaining moisture and so that it's a wet cut on the glass in the bit there, and don't worry too much about the white residue there. You will want to make sure that when you're cutting here, standing around having an awesome time, you want to make sure that your drill bit is as straight as you possibly can, and you'll find when you get to the last bit of the cut, if you have had a bit of an angle, it'll cut through that part first, and then you'll have to continue the rest of the circle to get the piece to finally cut out. So I've got to the last bit of the cut now. You can see that I've cut through and the water is now starting to drip through the tank. So the most important thing now is I do actually keep the water up to the drill bit. Whereas before it could just sit in its own puddle, I need to make sure that I keep it wet now. Alright, we're through. Quick, stop the clock. So that took me just under 15 minutes to do the one hole. However, patience is key, and it was drilled successfully without any cracks. So I'm just going to clean it up and then I'll bring you over and show you what it looks like. Milky goodness. Alright, let me bring you over. This bad boy up. And hopefully you can see here. Just get you in there. The hole's been cut. You will see, like, you know, the smallest chips come out from the back end. That's just from the last little bit of the glass snapping off. But no cracks and a good hole. So there you have it, drilled tank. That's all you need to do to drill a tank successfully without cracking it. Hopefully you learnt something in there, and I can pass on some knowledge so you guys have successful drillings on any tanks that you're going to be drilling yourselves. If there's anything I missed, please put it in the comments, or if there's any questions you have about drilling the tanks itself, also put it in the comments as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.